My gosh.
Okay.
I know, I was kind of excited about the Brand Manifesto. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, what is it? So I've been
Manifesto?
fascinated with these things called the Brand Manifesto. Hi, everyone. I'm Suzanne Tulien, and you are a part of the Ignite My Personal Brand Membership Consortium. Thanks for being here, whether you're here live or you're going to be watching this later on. What I do here is just I open up with a general topic about branding, and then we have an open discussion with coaching, laser coaching right here and there with those who are on the call. And those sometimes will text in and ask me some questions. But just to keep you top of mind and keep you thinking constantly about who you are as a brand and possibly the work that you've done already with me. Some of you are members that haven't done work yet with me, but want to, put your foot in the pool and see what it's like. There's my cat behind me.
So cool. Love
it. She thinks she doesn't understand who I'm talking to. She thinks I'm talking to her. So I wanted to open with this thing called Brand Manifesto. And when I was first building out my brand DNA program way back when we started, and we wrote the book in 2010, we collected a lot of companies, what we call brand manifestos. And we would pass them out into the audience and have a discussion about what these are and what they can do for organizations to bring everyone together on the same page. For personal brands, it can really help you narrate your story, your why, your reasoning, your passion, your philosophy, your belief statements, those types of things. So that's what is inside of a manifesto. And I just want to show you this one. This one is great. It's from Chipotle, and they've had this since the get-go, way back when. And they have it on their website. I think they still have it on their website, but I just want to read you a couple of sentences because it'll give you a sense of how passionate they are about where they stand and what their philosophies are. And this helps give reason as to what they are doing every day and why they make certain decisions to either grow or change vendors or offer this particular product. So it really helps us understand the brand mindset. So it's called Fresh is Not Enough Anymore. Food with Integrity Manifesto. So it starts out saying, why romaine lettuce when iceberg will do? Why trod the muddy fields of Iowa to see how pigs are raised? Why toast the cumin before you grind it? Why cumin indeed? The reasons are as simple as better tasting burritos and no less ambitious than revolutionizing the way America grows and gathers servers and eats their food. Excuse me, Phoebe. So doing all those things better from the start to finish is our mission. We call it Food with Integrity. It energizes everything we do in our restaurants and behind the scenes. It cannot be captured in a food bite or a sound bite, so read on. And then the rest is just a beautiful story of what they stand for. And it really helps the user, the buyer, even the employee, and even the stakeholders buy in to this platform that they've created. So I wanted you just to, on the other side, I have a Johnson & Johnson credo, which is, 1853 or however far back it was, 1943. I was only 100 years off. Wow. But it's really, it's kind of an expansion of a brand promise. And it gets it, because it allows the narration, it gets into the details as to why and what your positioning is. So having something like this, and I have one, but it's more of a, it's on my website. It's more of a graphic poster of different words and phrases that all come together to establish my position. And having that on your website, when people come and check you out, because they always do, right? If they're going to hire you, if you've got big ticket items and it's something that they really care about, they're going to look you up. And having this sort of information on your website is really powerful to give them a feel of what you stand for and what you're passionate about and what your thought process is and your philosophy. So if it relates to them, then you're a great connection, right? They would hook up with you. But if it's not what they want, then they go shopping somewhere else, which is great because you're weeding out those who are not your market anyway. So I want to bring that little topic up and get you thinking about that. And I'd love to hear if someone gets a wild hair out there and wants to write their own, and if they want to pass it along to me, I'm happy to take a look at it, post it on our membership page, and let me take a look at it and comment on it and share it with other people, because it's a fun thing when you begin to own your brand and really express it in a way that creates that distinction that you need. So that's that. Thank you for your time there. I would like to open it up to questions and coaching and have some fun with you and find out what's going on in your world and see if I can help. Miss Terry, how are things going?
They're fast and furious.
Are they?
Yeah.
What are you working on?
Well, you probably already know that our GM, George Preston, left to go to Chicago.
Right.
And so we are sans a GM right now. It's just we're all kind of there, and we are in the process of hiring a new GM. But meanwhile, we have this interim GM who is on the board and also works with a commercial station. So his ideas that he is bringing in are totally different than a public radio station ideas. And he has all these thoughts and ideas and improvements that he wants us to make. And of course, our outgoing GM was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, but he's kind of checked out and on already. So it has no skin in the game. We don't have a new person in yet. So we're just kind of waiting to see who this new person is. And, and I'm a little, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm a little bit hesitant to change everything before that person comes in. He or she needs to have a buy-in on it and a voice.
Well, they're going to want to make their own footprint anyway, right? So
Right.
Things are going to change again.
Right. So in my opinion, this interim person should come in and just kind of keep things afloat until this new person comes in. And then we kind of brainstorm and work together to create this new direction.
Is the interim person vying for the position as well?
No.
Okay. Then I would agree with you. Mm-hmm.
Never would. So meanwhile, instead of out selling, I'm busy creating new packages. I'm busy creating hit lists and why I think they're a good fit. And, it's just kind of totally stopping what I'm doing so that I can do reports and whatever for somebody else who's not really going to be there at all. And then on top of all of that, I have 3 men in the meetings, and every time I try to say something, I get talked over or negated or whatever, and I'm kind of stressing out over it. So I'm kind of in a weird place there.
Well, tell me about your side gig you're trying to get up and running, because that's a little bit more around your personal brand if you were to become an entrepreneur, right, in that area.
Yes, it is. I've had a couple people who have talked to me about maybe coming on board with them for different things that they need help with, but they don't want to hire a full-time person because of the fact that maybe their campaigns that they're needing help with over the last 2 years or whatever. But so I am working on. There's so much to this. I mean, I didn't have any idea how much there was to it, and I feel like I'm doing so many different things. I'm kind of frozen. I don't know.
Catatonic, because you're overwhelmed.
What was the word you used?
Catatonic.
Catatonic. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I just want to go take a nap because there's so many. I mean, I'm working on different exercises to kind of pull out the pieces that I really think I should go with, because I've had people. I've had business coaching sessions with like the Small Business Development Center and the Women Coach and different things. Some of them have said things like, oh my gosh, I think, you've done parenting so well and you're so good at it and you love it so much that maybe you should talk to divorced women and do workshops for that sort of thing. And,
well, that's a 180 from where you were going.
Right. And then I have other people who are saying, oh my gosh, you're so great with the customer service piece. And you should kind of build a program around that and work not only with the companies, like the CEO to the salesperson, or not just with the salesperson to the client, but also with the salesperson to the CEO and all in between, the management structure in between. And so, I mean, so I'm thinking about all these things, and they're so different. I want to make sure that I do something that's narrow enough to where I can focus on that one thing and do it very well, rather
Yeah.
than have 15 different
Well,
thoughts.
let me ask you a few questions. Maybe it can help you narrow that focus a little bit. Because I understood from what you were sharing with me that you were going to move into either sales training, right, or sales support. As an entrepreneur, come in and do some sales support for companies who are flailing a little bit, right?
Which the customer service piece really is part of.
Okay.
It's a very big part of it. That's the part that I love the most, the relationship building and the connection.
Okay. So here's what I want you to think about. If you had something to say to your target audience out there, and you wanted to scream at the top of your lungs to tell them to stop doing this and start doing this, that would solve their problems. What do you see happening all the time you get so frustrated with that you know you can go in there and fix for them because of your expertise? What mistakes are they making on a regular basis?
Well, I think that there are so many layers in sales, and you know that.
So what's one? Yeah, what's
so maybe with just one, and my biggest pet peeve is that you have a sales team, a sales force, a group of salespeople, and instead of and you have it's typical to have sales meetings where you're all in there and you're brainstorming, you're doing this, you're doing that. But people are so paranoid and so guarded about what they're talking about. They're afraid so-and-so is going to steal their account, or so-and-so is going to make friends with their client or whatever, that they're not helpful to each other. That it just keeps them stuck right here, where if they would just kind of chill out, lighten up a little bit, and trust each other, which also comes with its own set of issues, because not everybody's trustworthy.
That's your topic. That is your topic. It is going into sales teams and teaching them how to trust, collaborate, share, and grow together. Right?
Okay. That's my biggest thing.
It is. I know. I remember this from when we were working together on your personal brand stuff and all the stuff you were going through with your past company. It was all about that. And you never feeling like anybody had your back. And if everyone just had each other's back and built that level of trust, the whole company would grow exponentially.
And just move, to such heights that they can't even imagine. Such heights.
You've got fire around that one, girl.
I know I do. But I am passionate about that. But the hard part, I think, is putting yourself. Okay. I trust everybody until I have a reason not to, and I've been stepped on so many times just because of that. But 9 times out of 10, things turn out fine. It's that one time that doesn't.
Yeah.
That have people running for the hills, But the other times, when you trust somebody and you work together, and because I know a lot of people in the business realm. Somebody else may know a lot of people in the arts and the culture realm. If we worked together on that, oh my word, I feel like we'd be unstoppable, kind of thing, But it's just that there's such a fear that somebody's going to. I don't know if it's a competition thing. I don't know if it's.
Oh, sure, it's ego and competition for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Ego steps in when it tries to protect the human, right? Mm-hmm. And it's only protecting the human because it feels a lack of trust or insecurity.
Yeah.
There's a great book I want you to write down and to download and read. It's called No Ego.
Okay.
And it's by Cy Wakeman.
Spell that last name for me.
Wakeman, Wakeman, but Cy is spelled CY.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of hers. I follow her everywhere, listen to and watch. I've read all her books, been to her workshop. She is a no-nonsense leader, and she knows how to manage situations like that. But I think a lot of her material would help you maybe even formulate even if it's just a consulting program or workshop or whatever it is that you want to provide to sales teams all over Colorado, number one, because everyone deals with this scenario. And imagine what they're leaving on the table because of these drama llama issues, right? And their sales team leaders know this, and they're in pain.
Yeah. That's absolute truth. Absolute truth.
If I had a sales team, I'd hire you because I know you've been through it all. And it's all about figuring it out and trying to figure out how we can create a culture of trust.
Yeah, that comes with its own little set of.
But it can be done. It's about being it's about no tolerance around the mistrust, right? That level of culture where we've got to be transparent, and there's no tolerance around non-transparency or hiding or, the drama. But it has to start somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
So creating, I'm going to just tie this right back into Brand Manifesto, because if you even opened up the workshop around writing a brand manifesto around the sales team, having everybody contribute to a paragraph or two about the highest level of performance that they want to accomplish. And then you have a manifesto that they created so they own, right, in their hearts and minds, and everything you teach in your workshop has to back up to that. And they have to take it on, right, because they've already committed. Wow.
Yeah.
I see it happening.
I like it a lot. But by this, I've seen, and I'm not trying to, make this not work. I'm just trying to pull in some pieces that are going to have some.
You're really good devil's advocate.
Yes, I am. I really am. So I've seen companies who have done that, and they have an absolute poster in their workplace. Mm-hmm. Everyone has it at their desk about, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. This is why we're going to do it. And, these are the steps we're going to take to do it, and the all of these things. And then you have people who don't actually live by that, but they're really likable characters. They've got charisma. They've got this lovely face, and they've got this.
Or high performers.
Maybe and maybe not. Maybe your high performers are over there. And
how
not
do you get rid of a high performer, right?
Say it again.
How do you get rid of a high performer? I mean, the sales manager doesn't want to because they're high performing, but then they begin to create this ego around what they're doing, and they feel like that they can actually not follow the rules. They can do whatever they want.
Or the one who is actually the high performer is the one that's following all the rules and who's giving the 110%. But you have 2 or 3 over here that are very likable that aren't doing those things, but they're liked, and they're, and so the one that gets ousted is the performer. So that's where I see.
It's all about culture and positioning. And I'm telling you, that book will really help you kind of make some sense as to creating some approaches around how to manage that and how to not tolerate it. Okay. But I would, I know you're interested in doing a little bit more workshopping or facilitation or speaking in your entrepreneurship side, right? Mm-hmm. If you go that route, that is something that even a 30-minute presentation would be super compelling. Yeah.
Right. I agree. Okay, very cool. This is exciting.
It is. I can see you doing it because you have the stories. I mean, you do.
You have the attitude.
And you have you have to change the names to protect the innocent, but you have the stories and the experience. And, I think that you'll get really inspired by this book, and then, and just following through with what you want to do with your life and brand and express how you can impact.
Right. Okay. So speaking of ego, so I was thinking of names, and I have to have connections or connect, or connecting or whatever in there somehow. So I was thinking, somebody told me to make it personal, do it Cane Connections. But that seems very egocentric. I mean, or identifiable in one way. I mean, I don't know. Does that sound too, I mean, somebody else said pure synergy sounds good, but that just sounds so vague. And so.
You mean for your company name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with Kane Connections. I think so this kind of falls in the realm for me of, should I have a coffee cup in my coffee shop logo, or something that's so like, so the logo will never make or break the brand.
Right.
Okay. That's just a marketing tool. What's going to make or break the brand is do we understand, number one, what it is that you do and what your superpower is, and also how you can help me and what makes you different in doing that. So I choose you instead of the 100,000 other people on Google that say they do the same thing. So what I'm saying by that is saying that you make the name powerful by your actions and behaviors.
Okay.
So whatever you choose, right? So nobody knew what a Google was when Google first came out.
Right.
They had a lot of explaining to do, right? And then by using it, we now understand it. Okay. And it's delivered. Right. So I want you to not focus so much or stress out so much about the brand name.
Okay.
Just make sure that it's trademark protected, and you're not infringing on anybody else's name, and that you can narrate the story and the meaning behind it.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Right? Yeah. That's all you should worry about.
Okay. I love it.
Easy peasy. Have you been outside today? It's like 60 degrees.
I have been. It's lovely. In fact, I just came in and I'm actually gonna, after we're done, do you know who Power Connectors are? The network. Yeah. I'm going down there tonight. I haven't been there in
good
months. So I thought sounds kind of fun to go.
Yeah.
Get out there. Since my dad died and since we buried him and everything, I've kind of not gone a whole lot to these kinds of things, and starting to get back out.
Good.
So yeah. So okay, I like that whole manifesto thing. That I was really curious to see what that was going to be all about.
Yeah.
Manifesto sounds like a good book.
It's really think of it as another tool to deepen the meaning and philosophy of the brand value position.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great for bigger companies as well as personal brands, right? When you're writing your own manifesto, it all comes from you. When companies write it, it comes from, it could be a collection of people, but then it's a story that can be understood and fulfilled and get passionate about by everybody in the business. So it's a powerful tool.
Yeah, I know a whole lot of companies who could use a whole lot of what we're talking about today. That's for sure. But the hard part is to try to find the ones that really have that caring level already. There are a lot of companies out there that don't care about the churn. They don't care about the turnover. They don't care about this one's okay, this one will last for a week and it'll be okay because we'll get another person in here. Well, I mean, you got to find. It's real important to find the ones who want that.
And so your homework then, I would suggest, is to define at least 5 to 10 pain points that they would recognize in themselves when you talk about what it is that you do. Like what actually happens, like the drama llama, that's a pain point, right? Having sales meetings that don't go anywhere. Nobody takes on tasks, the secrecy, there's so many, bullet out that list so that you really have a way to talk about, and then follow that model that we use to create your past 60-second commercial, but you can follow the same model and create yours for what you're doing now. And maybe I'll talk about that on one of these calls.
That'd be great.
I'm actually doing a workshop tomorrow to 18 people in our consulting, Pikes Peak Consulting Roundtable group. And it's so funny because we might we might get 9 people there, maybe. It's usually 5, 6, or 7. And with this topic, I got a full house.
Yep.
So everybody wants this clarity, right?
Yeah.
Around how do they talk about themselves. But
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh.
Well, I sure am glad you're here.
Yeah, I am too. All right, dear. So if you don't have any other questions, I will go ahead and just, before it shuts me down, I'm going to shut it down.
Yeah, I've seen that happen, huh?
Control. So first, tell me what task you're going to do after you get off this call.
I have to finish my workday with my W-2 job, and then this evening, after I've finished with that little networking thing, I'm going to work on those pain points and just, kind of outline a manifesto of my own.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think
Cool. I'd love to see you hear it when you get it done. Let's talk about it next time. I'll follow up. Hopefully you'll be on the call next time and you can say what you can deliver what you did.
Sounds good.
Cool, my dear. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, always. And thank you again for what you do and how you elevate us to be better us's.
It's in my DNA.
I love it.
All right, dear. You have a great rest of your week.
You too. Thank you. See you later. Peace.
Okay.